Ladies, gentlemen, punters, muchas gracias from San Cugat, the Ramla de Sela Stadium. We are here to witness history in the making. Australia taken the Australian camp looking great at this stage. All the preparations have been made. They are sharp, they are keen, they're ready to fight. You can see it in their eyes. Just to win against, make their mark on the world stage as we're seeing it. And just like to take a moment to thank you for joining us here at the RHA TV broadcast. And it's been brought to you by Drew Media Australia in association with Roller Hockey Australia, Just Sport and Ecamm Live, video production software for Mac, K-Tech, tough, durable, solid travel bags for all your audio equipment to travel the world. We're only moments away now from starting this game. The players suffering a little bit of nerves, but they're coming out on top. Once they've been on the stadium, then you can see them. They've just relaxed now. They're just getting into this game, just warming up, looking very casual. Not too casual, they have a mission. Australia, in this World Championship Series, need to win at least one game in this series to stay in the top 16. Very excited to be here. Beautiful conditions in Barcelona, between 30, 35 degrees each day, but we've seen a little bit of an overcast situation this morning, which has lowered the temperatures a little bit, making it a little bit easier for the Australian camp. The European players will be used to these summer conditions here at the moment. Australia having come from our winter into our hot summer here in Northern Europe. They're loving the situation here. It's nice to be in the sunshine. Nice to be relaxed, fluid, able to move around quite freely in this heat. Boys just having a warm-up, slap shot at the cage from the distance. They've done their juggling, their dribbling warm-ups, juggling warm-ups, all sorts of warm-ups that they like to do here on this floor. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to get the team sheets for the Swiss, German, or the Brazilian teams at the moment. They're keeping very, very close ties on all the information at the media centre here. They do not want to have any team having advantage in knowing who's on the floor. And there's the siren, ready to start play. The floor will be cleared. The players will get ready and line up in the centre of the floor for the traditional salute. Referees, players alike, will address the crowd and the officials in a sign of respect in the traditional salute that we've always seen, as we do at home. Yet to see the starting floor for Australia, but I assume we will obviously be putting our strongest players out there first. Great depth of field and talent in the Australian camp. And there is the second warning buzzer going off right now. The beautiful stadium here, Rambla de Sella, San Cugat. And thank you once again for joining us on RHA TV. Very proud to be bringing these images from you from Drew Media Australia in association with Roller Hockey Australia, Josh Sport. We're seeing on the camera there now in front of you the Australian camp, just about to take some last minute instructions from the Australian coach Steve Hoey and team manager Claudio Manuz. All the players very, very excited to be there. There's nothing like playing roller hockey at a World Roller Games in Spain. The team have been enjoying themselves very much in the Spanish atmosphere, and it's absolutely wonderful to be here. You can't help but get involved in the Spanish spirit that's here and start talking the lingo. It's a beautiful language. I'm enjoying speaking it and talking with the locals here. Very, very good English if you're deciding to come over and have a bit of a tour of Spain. Very, very welcome here, all Australians, and very easy to get around. And just to take another moment out, we'd like to show very much our appreciation. Ecamm Live assisting Drew Media Australia in bringing these images to you with video production software for Mac. K-Tech has been helping us with tough, durable, soft travel. I stand corrected. Tough, durable, solid travel bags for all your audio equipment to travel the world. Referees coming out onto the floor now, as you can see on your screens. The 4 officials, 2 out on the floor, 2 on the bench to assist. Keeping a very, very close eye on the proceedings this game, Australia versus Switzerland. Very, very proud to be here. I feel like we should be listening to the Australian national anthem at the moment. Advance Australia Fair. I'll be standing here saluting it right now, saluting our players that have made it all this way. It has been a very, very long campaign, many years in the making, to bring Australia to the World Roller Games in the top 16. An emotional moment. And again, it's very dusty in this arena. I'm not tearing up. I just have something in my eye here at the moment. And I'm sure all you at home are very, very proud to be watching the Australian camp coming out on the floor in just moments. Carlos Fernandez giving the people at home a big wave. You can see on the screen there, Michael Marusak, Jason Shah, Bevan Hurley, Ashley Clear, Geordie Poblet, Jay Cook there in the keeper gear, Max Cook, older brother. Great to see the Cook family playing together at the World Roller Games in Barcelona. And a proud moment, Australia rolls out to the floor. The big salute to the huge cheer squad that is on the other side of the stadium. We're seeing here the Aussie flag flying. We're absolutely loving being here in Barcelona, and we have a big crowd here to support the team. A very proud moment for Australian roller hockey and Australian sport. Hearing the announcement in Spanish being delivered now. An emotional moment for myself. Very, very proud. Obviously a vested interest for myself, as you might have heard in the podcast. Son, 17 years, Ashley Clee, sponsored by Australian Teachers Chronicle, to be here, atc.com.au. But all the credit goes to RHA TV to bring these images to your lounge room, with Drew Media assisting with Roller Hockey Australia, Josh Sport, Ecamm Live, video production software for Mac, K-Tech, providing the bags to house all our audio equipment as we travel the world to bring these images to you. We're hearing the announcement now being given in Spanish. The team looking relaxed, they're smiling at the moment, they're excited to be here. They can understand the pressure that is on them, but they're not buckling at the moment. They will not buckle, they will not succumb. A very, very tough band of men that were so proud at the jersey presentation yesterday afternoon at the San Cugat Hotel. in Barcelona. The national anthem being played right now. And of course, you're all standing in your land rooms, hand on your chest for the Swiss national anthem. And I'm sure we'll be hearing the Australian national anthem, Advance Australia Fair, very, very shortly after this presentation. A moment, please, for national pride. The Australian camp huddling together, listening to those words, that tune of Advance Australia Fair. I'm sure the boys will be singing those words in their minds right now. A solemn moment, a proud one for roller hockey and Australian sport. The crowd getting behind the Australian national anthem and singing it in the grandstands. A very special moment. I don't know about you, but you can't help with the tears welling in the eyes. And there's the cheer at the conclusion of Advance Australia Fair. Such pride and a salute to the camera of the Australian team. Players now shaking hands with the referees, thanking them for their work. Ram de Sela Stadium, San Cugat, Barcelona for the 2019 World Roller Games. Australian team now shaking hands with the Swiss. The Australian camp now assembling in their area. Max Cook, front of screen at the moment, comes from a long line of hockey players and keepers from Australia. Steve Hoey in the foreground, you can just see the back of him there. Cameron Boehm, just to the right of screen, just moving out there now, Australian captain. As you'll see in the podcast, a very, very proud man. The first Australian captain in 30 years to represent Australia and roll them out onto the floor at this World Roller Games. Australian camp in a huddle now. Looking at the Swiss camp. Back to the Australian camp, very intense. Seconds away now. The crowd getting behind the Australian team. You can hear them chanting. You are going to hear them screaming. Even on the wide shot, you can tell who is in the crowd. Australia to the left, the Swiss to the right. Australia have brought their own horns along. The voices are not loud enough. We want to make as much noise in this stadium as possible to cheer the boys on. We're just seeing the Australian team coming out on the floor. Starting floor, Cameron Boehm, captain of the team. Bevan Hurley, the big heavy hitter, fast on his feet. Geordie Poblet, our technical man. Michael Rusak, one of our experienced players. Very experienced players, spending a lot of time playing in the European leagues and bringing their skill and knowledge to the Australian team. And before we start, thank you so much for joining us on RHA TV, brought to you by Drew Media Australia in association with Roller Hockey Australia and Just Sport. Ecamm Live, video production software for Mac, K-Tech, tough, durable, solid travel bags for all your audio equipment to travel the world. Players about to start. It is ready. We are set. It is the opening seconds. And we're off. Poblet coming down the barrier at the moment. Tries to pass between the legs of the Swiss player. Marusak is on it. Boehm. Down the barrier to Hurley. Cross alongside Marusak. Coming charging. Hurley providing some defence there, giving an opportunity to come in. There was the pass set up there for Boehm. He's jammed up against the wall. 2 Swiss players on in the moment. Swiss coming out on top. There's a long pass to no man's land. They're intercepted. Poblet trying to create some interference. There's a shot at the cage. It's wide for Switzerland. Chopping foul indicated by the referee. Australia's ball start play. Not able to be picked up by Poblet. Switzerland having a go at the cage. Blocked out by the Australian sticks. Poblet in defence against the Swiss. Bevan Hurley. Also defending hard against his player. Switzerland having a bit of a run in. Decide to go back to the defensive line. Hurley putting the pressure on. Do not want to let Switzerland get in. Poblet is having a battle up against the barrier. He's coming out on top as it appears. No, it's no man's ball at the moment. Boehm is on it in the corner. He's coming out. The other side of the cage. Hurley, long deep pass to Marusak in the opposite corner down the other end. Hurley coming through. Not able to pick up the intercepts. Marusak battling against the wall at the moment. It's Switzerland's ball at the moment. Poblet in defence. Leighton working for Australia in the cage. Great work there from Reece Leighton. It's Switzerland ball. Poblet putting the pressure on the moment, keeping Switzerland out of the attacking zone. Switzerland working the ball across the centre line at the moment. Tense moments for the Australian camp. They're doing a great job so far. They have shown no nerves whatsoever. There was the pass in front of the cage for Switzerland. Marusak's on the ball. He's got 2 players in front of him. He needs someone to work with. Who's coming through for the Australian camp? There's white all over the green and gold at the moment. Marusak is battling hard. Great work there. That experience in the English leagues is coming through at the moment for Australia. Boehm in the corner, jammed up. Passes back to Hurley behind the line. He's over the line for the 5 seconds. Scooting through behind the cage and needs someone to work with. There's someone coming through for Australia. Past the Poblet. Oh, bad deflection off the barrier. Poblet, great work to Hurley. It's Hurley in front. He's got 1 defender in front. He's looking for someone to come through. There's Marusak skating through. No, not able to get in position. Poblet having to go at the cage. First time at the cage for Australia. Poblet doing the job. Great work, Poblet there, juggling the ball to keep position. Boehm having a little look in, skating in. Strong player for Australia. Marusak, very skilled, very experienced. Hurley, just the same, having a run in. Poblet providing the area. Oh, it was so close. Had it been on target, that would have been in the cage. Great work for Australia so far. They just need to sharpen up their targeting a little bit more. They're on the job. Switzerland now have the ball, having to reset themselves, taking their time. They're shocked, I think, by the Australian offence at the moment. Taking their time, Switzerland. They've got to really suss out the Australian camp because we are doing a fantastic job here at the moment. Ramla de Sella Stadium, San Cugat at the World Roller Games. Oh, Switzerland working the ball backwards and forwards, just managing to find that gap adjacent. Reece Leighton in the cage. Good work for the Swiss. A little bit of disappointment here for the Australian camp, but it doesn't matter. There's still so much more hockey to be played. 21 minutes remaining in this first half of the game. Hurley having the charge. He's going to want to get in. He's going to create the opportunity. There's the pass to Poblet. Rebounded off the skate of the Swiss player. Marusak not able to intercept on the pass. Skating hard back behind the cage and will be called on the time over the line. Switzerland to have the ball now. Popping it up in the air. Switzerland is looking for that man. Australia has the ball. Poblet's on it right now, battling. Oh, both players going to the floor. How will the referees see it? Decision going towards the Swiss team. Poblet not very happy. He believes he would have had the advantage in that situation up against the wall. The referees have seen it differently. Switzerland trying to do a little bit sneaky, get a little bit of extra ground towards the cage. Referees setting the play. We're off. There's the whistle. Switzerland resetting themselves now. Back on the centre circle. Dropping the big bomber in. Wide and high of the cage. Hurley's on the rebound. Charging through. He's a big man. He's struggling to keep control at the moment, but he's still on it. He drops the big bomber there. It's into no man's land. Picked up by the Swiss. Desperation to get it over the line, to keep the ball in play and not turn it over. Switzerland taking their time at the moment, trying to get around Boehm and Poblet. Poblet spinning around, still on his feet. Coming behind the cage, Boehm put an immense amount of pressure on the Swiss players. Ball drifting no man's land. Bad pass there for Switzerland. Marusak's on it. He's going to need for somebody to pass out to. Switzerland putting the pressure on early behind the cage. Oh, and it's over the barrier at this point in time. And that is the first time out.
Hola, soy Jordi Gavarra, juego en el club de San Cugat. El año pasado jugué con el Melbourne y nada, estoy muy contento de poder ayudar a toda la comunidad australiana de hockey patines y los deseo lo mejor en el World Roller Games.
Back again on RHA TV, brought to you by Drew Media Australia, association with Roller Hockey Australia, Just Sport, Ecamm Live Video Software, KT Video Gear around the world. Australia has the ball at the moment. Switzerland resetting themselves at the moment. Poblet putting a bit of defence on for the Australian camp. Hurley bursting in there. Takes possession of the ball. He's trying to kiss my ass in the corner. He wins out. He's coming through. He's getting a little bit of clear space now. Marusak is all tied up with the Swiss player at the moment. Getting physical. Boehm on the ball. Trying to pass to Poblet. Referees have seen something. Behind play there, keeping a very vigilant eye on the play. On the referee's whistle, the ball will be turned over to Switzerland to start once more. The Swiss camp, very skilled, very determined. The Australian camp, even more determined. Australia down 0-1 at the moment in the opening minutes of the game. 19 minutes remaining in the first half of this epic battle, Australia versus Switzerland. Switzerland having a bit of a run in. Hurley caught up in the player, he can't release. Australia getting the advantage on the referee's whistle of that one. Hurley trying to pull himself away from the player there, but he was stuck. Poblet, lots of pressure there, stumble there. Oh, nice little tap through. It's in the clear space, passes to Boehm. Boehm, there's Marusak in the front. Oh, there's a shot of the cage, just missing. Switzerland having now got the ball, are coming back down the floor, slowly setting themselves once more. Taking their time. Switzerland are resetting themselves. They really want to have a look at these Australian players. I think they're very surprised. Oh, how is it going to be viewed here by the referees? The player from Switzerland has gone down the floor, shaking hands of the players. They're saying there's nothing in it between the two of us. Oh, disappointing for the Australian camp. Bevan Hurley, he will not be happy about that one. It looked as though it was total accident. The referees have seen it differently, unfortunately. The penalty shot going to Switzerland. Reece Leeton in the cage for Australia to answer the call. Players set behind the line down the opposite penalty box area. The Swiss player in front, Leeton, ready. There's the indication. What's he going to do? Stay steady, Reece. Oh, off the post! Leeton's done his job for Australia. Poblet bursting in the corner. The referees have seen it. It looks like it's been a bit of a call to charge. From Poblet onto the Swiss. Swiss there have the ball. It's in play. They've got to bring it back over the line. They comply. In the corner. Got to come out. Australia breathing a sigh of relief after that blue card. Hurley in the sin bin. Australia have to cover their bases. There's only 3 players on the floor at the moment. They can do it. We know they can. Great defenders of the ball, Australia. Switzerland working hard. They're not finding an opening at the moment. Players covering that striking area, not allowing Switzerland in. Just got to last out that 2 minutes to get Hurley back onto the floor. Leighton doing a great job there. It was on target. Boehm stuck in the corner. He's got two on him in the moment. He's trying to kiss my ass. They're not bending down. Marusak coming in to help defend there. It's desperate. It's a battle up against the wall. It's getting very physical. Australia receiving the advantage on the whistle from the referees. Poblet to start playing. Boehm, there's only one on him at the moment. He's skating behind the cage. He's going to do, what's he going to do? He's taking his time. There's lots of pressure on him at the moment. Only 3 Australian players on the floor, but they're in the attacking zone at the moment. Boehm not giving up. Dog with a bone. Ball turned over to Switzerland now on the whistle. Switzerland having a look. Still only 3 players on the floor for Australia, doing an epic job of keeping Switzerland out. This is the opportune time for Switzerland to make their mark, but it's not happening. Marusak, last line of defence there on that shot. It was wide and high of the cage regardless. Marusak throwing his body on the line. Poblet, there was the pass to him. A little bit wide on the rebound of the wall. Just couldn't quite get a stick on him, but Poblet is still on it. Now moving back into the defensive zone. Referee's seen it, kicking the ball from the Switzerland camp. Australia to take the ball on the whistle. Interchange. Jason Shah on the floor now. Our rover for the Australian team. Poblet, Boehm looking at each other, giving instructions through the eyes. Poblet's on at the moment. There was a pass down the barrier to no man's land. The Swiss have picked it up in the corner. Long pass across the other side of the floor. Back to the centre circle. Now the other side. Switzerland, what are they going to do? Australia is still blocking them out at the moment. 3 players on the floor doing a great job. Hurley back on the floor once more. We're now at full strength. Hurley, a man full of determination, strength. Reece Leighton blocking that out for Australia. Great work. Poblet on the charge. Shah is on the ball now. Couldn't intercept the pass. No man's land, but Shah still chasing. Shah still maintaining the pressure there, trying to provide that little bit of extra early defence for the Australian camp, moving into position. Switzerland resetting themselves now, taking their time. They really have got to have a look at this Australian camp because they're doing a fantastic job here in Barcelona. Hurley looking for someone to play with. There's Boehm. He's going to skate around Boehm. There's the pass to Shah. It's off the boot. It's over the barrier. The referees are going to give it to the Swiss on that call. Exciting moments here in the first half of this game. 16 minutes remaining. I can't talk properly. It's exciting here. The pressure is mounting. So proud to be here on RHA TV, bringing this all to you live from Joss Sport, Roller Hockey Australia, and Drew Media, of course. But it's Shah on the ball at the moment. Switz putting the pressure on. Hurley providing a little bit of shielding there, according to the rules. Pass is intercepted by Switzerland. Shah still chasing the ball. Poblet trying to intercept at the moment. Dangerous there, leaving a possible opportunity for Switzerland to get into the cage. Referees are having a bit of a chat with Geordie Poblet at the moment. What are they seeing? It is looking like a penalty shoot for the Swiss team. Nail-biting moments for the Australian camp. We just take a moment to thank our other sponsors aside from Drew Media Australia. Seeing these images live on RHA TV, Joss Sport in association with Roller Hockey Australia, Reece Leighton. Reece Leighton. The pressure, the pressure is intense here. The excitement is just unbelievable. But we have to mention ECAM Live, who's helped. Tough, durable, solid, dependable bags for all your order travel the world. There's a shot. Oh, it's wide of the cage. Leighton providing the deception. Rebounds away the second. Early wide. They're going to have to do something here to bring it over the line. His whistle has gone once more. Here, Cella Stadium, San Cugat, for the 2019 Barcelona World Roller Games. Extremely proud to be bringing these images to you on RHA TV. To start play, defensive move back to the centre line. Run in, there's the pass to the man. Tries to pass in, but lots of pressure there from her. A little bit physical out there. One of the Swiss players going down on the in front of the cage there. Leighton won't be. He's in his zone. Poblet's on the rebound off the wall. Long pass to Boehm. He needs someone to work with. There's Shah coming through. Shah intercepts. Back to Boehm. Swiss man in front, red and white. Switzerland on the charge. Break up against the wall. Passes back to the safety of the centre circle. Switzerland working the ball. Now down deep against the barrier. Back to the centre. Australia really putting the pressure on here. Tense moments. 14 minutes remaining on the clock. Stop start here at this tournament. Barcelona 2019. Poblet is on the ground there. Something happened there behind play. Wasn't catching it there. I'm watching the ball very, very closely. There's the slap shot at the cage. Leighton doing a great job there for the Australian camp, keeping that out of the cage zone. Switzerland jam behind the cage. They're looking for that pass out. There's too much green and gold in the way. Ball drifting into no man's land at the moment. Resetting themselves. Australia setting themselves as well, marking their players very, very carefully. Trying to avoid lunging at the ball whatsoever. Just provide the defensive strategy. And there is the second timeout for the first half of this battle that is Australia versus Switzerland.
I am Johan Barthès from the Blagnac Sporting Club in Toulouse, France. I had the chance to play 4 years in Melbourne, Australia for the Mondial Outdoor Hockey Club, and I'm glad to be here in Vic, Catalonia to support the Australian team. Good luck guys for the World Roller Games.
You're back on RHA TV. These images being brought to you by Drew Media Australia, of course. Hurley, pressure onto the Swiss. Up against the there was a pass intercepted there from Switzerland. Rebounding of the having a few words with the referee, getting the fine detail of the ruling. Switzerland passing back, having a bit of a charge there. There's the deflection to the man, drops the big bomber in. Green and gold in the way. What are we seeing there? Face-off is indicated by the referee. Great job there. Terrific work from Reece Leedon in the cage for Australia. Face-off, Shah. Shah winning out, but unfortunately goes to the Swiss player. Nice deflection there from Shah. Lots of green and gold there. Oh, Oh, what are we seeing here? Cameron Bowen's gone to the floor. He's in close proximity to the Swiss player. The Swiss player's talking with the referee now. And there's the blue card for Switzerland. Here is the door open now for Australia. Let's see if Australia can convert. Steve Hoey calling Michael Marusek off the floor at the moment. Just having a bit of a quick chat. Bevan Hurley, Jason Shah there, just having a quick chat to the Australian team officials. Cameron Bowen, our illustrious captain for Australia, will take the penalty shot for the green and gold. The Australian camp going wild in the grandstands here. They're setting themselves. The players are behind the penalty line. The referees have indicated clean. There's the ref's indication. Oh, it's kept off, kept out by the Swiss keeper. Cameron Bowen going to his knees momentarily. Possibly some slippery areas here on the floor. Rambler de Sella Stadium, San Cugat. But Switzerland have the ball now. There was the opening for Australia. But Switzerland only have 3 players on the floor. Here's the door open for the Australian camp. There needs to be some pressure put on by Australia to take advantage of these 2 minutes. The Swiss being very, very conservative at the moment. They've got the advantage at the moment. They have possession of the ball. They're in their attacking zone. But they're not doing much with it. They're trying to play the time out, run down that 2 minutes. If they turn it over to Australia, it could be all Australia's way. Dangerous situation for the Swiss. Great advantage for Australia. Bowen in front of the cage, not allowing him any room to come in. There's the long pass. Shot clock has been called on the Swiss. Australia will take the ball. Shah to receive, start play once more, as you can see. The referee indicating the ball has to come back over to this side to start play. Poblet's on it now. Hurley. Poblet. Hurley. Dummies the slap shot. Shah's in the corner. He's behind the cage. He's looking for that man to run in. Is there any? Oh, yes! Rebounds off the post. Great work there from Jason Shah. Trying to get the sneaky in. Drops the bomber there from Poblet. It's over the cage. High ball called by the referees. It'll go to the Swiss now to start play. Swiss taking their time. They want to run this clock down to get their man back on the floor after that blue card. Switzerland getting around Hurley momentarily. Hurley back on the charge, putting the pressure on. Poblet there in defence. Ball running in no man's land. Shah's on it up against the barrier. Coming behind the cage for Australia. There's the pass. Got to get it over the line. Hurley's on the job. What's Hurley going to do? Oh, he tries the big bomber. Deflected off the shin pads of Switzerland. Swiss have it behind the cage now. Hurley coming back into the fray. Rejoin his teammates in front of the scoring area for Switzerland. Poblet putting the pressure on. Rebounded shot off the barrier coming back for Switzerland. 4th player back on the floor now for Switzerland. They're back at full strength. Australia not able to take the opportunity of having the advantage. So far, we've only seen the one interchange for the Australian camp. Hurley's off, Shah is on. Bowen, Marusek, Poblet for Australia. Poblet, Marusek. Shah, you can hear the Australian camp in the background. They know we're in the scoring zone here. They're backing us, they're pushing us into the cage. Marusek, working hard, Poblet. Marusek trying to get in front of there, providing a little bit of a shield for the Australian camp. There was the ball for the man for Australia, but there was no one in front of the cage. Ball drifting into the corner, picked up by Switzerland. Long pass down the wall, not able to be intercepted by Poblet. Poblet resetting himself in front of the cage. Having a shot there, it's defended away. Poblet, long shot to Bowen. Got to get it over that line. Desperate times here, the Swiss are on it. Missed opportunity there at the moment. Bowen showing his expression of dismay. The referees call him over. The top pocket has been reached for, and there's the blue card for Australia, unfortunately, once more. Blue card situation, 2 to Australia now, 1 to the Swiss. Reece Leeton momentarily coming off the floor. Quick pace. cool down, relax, reset himself, taking some water. Crucial moments for the Australian camp. 1 down in this game so far with 9 minutes remaining. Leighton re-gearing, going back into the cage. Checking the setting. Getting a measure of post to post to post. If anyone can do it, Reece Leighton is the man. He's done it twice so far. He can do it again a third time. The Australian camp really revelling now. He's going wide on the dribble. He's going to go for it. He's pulling one side. Oh, it's a goal for Switzerland. Nice work there. Dribble one way. He pulled Leighton to one side and he was in the cage. Let's see if we can catch that on a replay for Switzerland. Let's see what happened there. Ball pulled to one side after starting play from the centre dot. Left, right, and he's right. Leighton kept a little bit too far over to the left-hand side of our screen in the cage, providing that little spot there for Switzerland to get through. But Poblet's on the ball now for the start of play once more. Referee's whistle has been blown on the 5-second ruling. It was one-on-one in the cage for Switzerland. Rebounds off the top post. No joy for Switzerland. Coming and they're charging in now, lots of pressure. Hurley playing the physical game at the moment, gets possession of it. Marusak not quite able to keep control of it. Let's turn it over to Swiss. Now Cook is on the floor for Australia with Marusak, Hurley and Poblet. Max Cook missed it 110%. What can we see him do today? Swiss taking their time. Cook putting the pressure on. Referees have seen it Australia's way. Hurley intercepting on the pass. Swiss putting the pressure on early. Hurley having to skate hard and fast. He's coming in, he's into the zone. What's he going to do? Oh, he's close. He tries to lift and tap. Can't quite get it on the right angle. He's too deep, too wide. Hurley passes to Marusak behind the cage. Lots of pressure there. Cook coming into the play. Passing back to Poblet. Defensive area. Australia resetting themselves. Cook providing a bit of a shield. Poblet running in. Lots of pressure there. Marusak not quite in the right spot for the cross in front of the cage. Marusak, popped it up in the air. Poblet was there, couldn't get it clean, still got it. Lots of Swiss pressure in the way. Ball drifting in no man's land for Switzerland at the moment. Anybody picking up, Cook putting pressure on. Decides to back it off. Let's reset. Taking their time coming in, Switzerland. Blocked out by Poblet. Unlucky for Reece Leighton. Deflections all over the place, the ball bouncing in just aside of him. And we're seeing it come through on the replay there. There was the shot to the man and just bouncing on his stick to just a 1 foot bounce next to Leighton into the cage for Switzerland, making the situation 3-0 against Australia. In this first half of the game, there's still lots and lots of hockey to be played yet. Australia have definitely not been outclassed by any stretch of the imagination. Poblet working hard. Back to Shah. Shah running in. Got the pressure on. He's forced behind the cage. No, he stops. Changed the direction. He's looking. There's Cook. He's on it. Hurley working hard. He outplays his Spanish counterpart, his Swiss counterpart, I should say. Shah on it. Poblet drops the bomber in, deflected off the stick of the Swiss player. Cook in the chase, not able to keep up, not in the right spot. Switzerland, the long pass across the floor. In front of the striking area at the moment, there's 2 green and gold on him. Cook slammed into the barrier. Tough, didn't even know it had been pushed. Poblet talking to the referees on that ruling. Doesn't matter, play has begun once more. It's Poblet. There's the pass to Cook, it's wide. Cook's on it. Got to work together, don't fight against your teammate. Hurley giving him a bit of space to work. Referees calling it. Face-off is being indicated right there. No, it's Australia's ball by the look of it. Cook, Poblet, Shah coming into play. Poblet helping out with a little bit of shielding there. It's legal. Switzerland have the ball behind the Australian striking cage. Shah was put in the last the initial pressure on. Switzerland. Can't see the opportunities at the moment. Australia doing the one-on-one plays at the moment. Oh, there was the opportunity. Sharp putting the pressure on. Switzerland not able to intercept on that pass. Switzerland, Australian camp lined up in front of the cage at the moment. Oh, very close. Great work from the Australians. Pad coming off the hand of Reece Leet at the moment in a desperate move to keep that ball out of the cage. Face-off situation in the corner of the penalty box. Poblet for Australia. Poblet's got it. Drifting away. Switzerland have it now. Switzerland having a bit of a charge in Australia, working absolutely hard, tough as nails in the defence area. Bowen putting the pressure on. And that is the third timeout period for this first half.
I am Johan Barthès from the Blagnac Sporting Club in Toulouse, France. I had the chance to play 4 years in Melbourne, Australia for the Mondial Outlaw Hockey Club, and I'm glad to be here in Vic, Catalonia to support the Australian team. Good luck guys for the World Roller Games 2019.
Roller hockey Australia. Intercepting nicely. Cook, he's the man to what to do. He can take on 2 players at a time. Bowen, Hurley's on the charge. He's set up. Is he got some space there? Poblet having to look around to see where the ball went. Not in the correct spot to receive that one for him. Players around him at the time. Cook's on it once. Bowen skating harder and harder and faster. Pressure on from the Swits. Succumbs. Switzerland, one-on-one against Hurley. Oh, the referees have seen it. They've called it. Hurley just trying to go about his business. We're seeing it now. The Swiss player coming in. Hurley just doing his job, skating through. And the Swiss player looking as though he's not very good on his feet and going to the floor very easily on that one. Easily losing a lot of balance there and going to the floor. The referees have seen it differently though. The ball set in the penalty spot. Reece Leet coming off the floor once more. I'm sure the man will be toweling down, taking a bit of water. Steve Hoey, a very stressed man I can imagine right here, right now. He won't be liking this situation, but it is still the opening half of this game. 5 minutes remaining on the clock. Still a lot of hockey to be played. Leeton just having a bit of a careful, casual skate around the area, taking his time to catch his breath. Once again, as keepers do, they measure up the opening, set themselves into position. The players are set down the penalty end. The referee, we're waiting for indication. There it is, there's the wave. Going for the direct, and Switzerland scores. Reece Leet doing the ninja kick to try and intercept that ball and just manages to get past him. As we can see in the replay there, he's gone for the direct shot. There's the skate in, the slap shot. Keepers having to make the decision which way are they going to try and cover it. But Poblet's on the ball right now. Game back in play once more for Australia in the attacking zone. Marusak Cook working the ball between his legs to keep possession of it. Passes off to Bowen in the tight circumstance. Australia still have a Poblet. Long pass to Marusek. Down the barrier. No one there for Australia. Switzerland take the advantage. Poblet provides the ultimate defence, putting himself in front of the ball. Marusek dropping his stick momentarily. He's back on the charge. Something seen there by the referees. It looked like it was clean, innocent play, but the referees are calling it. Seeming as though that, Australia is really on the ropes here with the decisions that are coming out at the moment. They're having a hard time of it. Leighton to take the cage once more. Great amount of pressure on the shoulders of this man. There's the wave. The direct shot goes into the cage, just to the side of his body. 5-0 is the result at this point in the first half of the game. 4 minutes and 36 seconds remaining in only the first half. It is only the first half here. Things can change, as we've seen from so many finals back home. It only takes seconds. Ball to go Switzerland's way in the battle up against the barrier. Poblet putting the pressure on. Switzerland has the speed. Round behind the cage. The floor looking a little bit slippery there. Poblet going to his knees once more. Around the cage area. Switzerland having a scoot in. Lots of green and gold in the way at the moment. Tough times for Australia here at the moment. I know they can dig deep. And they will. They'll be really working hard. Great work there from Reece Leighton. You've seen the 1-2 play. Kept out. He spotted it like an eagle. Oh, Cook's on the charge. He's got two in front of him. He can handle it. What's he going to do? He's passing back to Poblet. Lots of red and white in the way at the moment. Marusek's in front of the cage there, waiting for the intercept. Poblet there as well. It's in no man's land at the moment. Marusek gets a stick on it. Can't keep control. Off to Switzerland. Switzerland coming through. There's the 1-2 play. There's no one there to work for Switzerland. Not in the right position. Poblet working hard there at the moment. Attacking. And that's what Australia need to do. They need to get back in that. And they've got to have possession time. They've got to get close to the cage. They really have got to set themselves up. Oh, Geordie Poblet working hard to dribble around the Swiss player. Who's going to do? Max Cook could be the man. No, he's still on it. Deflected off the stick at the moment. Bowen drifting in his possession. Marusek skating through. Marusek having a lot of pressure on there. He's got to get it back over the line. Poblet. Bowen, I should say. Poblet. The Swiss team talking to each other. Oh, there's the pass. Oh, just in front of the cage of Bowen. Couldn't get an accurate shot at the opening, unfortunately. But Bowen's still chasing it. It's in the Australian attacking zone. He's not letting go. The referees have seen something here. And there is the fourth timeout period. The second 60-second break for the timeout. And I'd just like to take this opportunity while we can to thank you for watching the broadcast on RHA TV, streamed to you live by Drew Media Australia in collaboration with Roller Hockey Australia, Just Sport, Ecamm Live, video production software for Mac, K-Tech, tough, durable, solid travel bags for all your audio equipment around the world. And here's the penalty shot. Leighton's in there for Australia. Great work by Leighton. Does the job for Australia. Marusek's on it. Shah. Having a look in. There's the pass. Fernandez on the floor for Australia. Bowen getting a bit of a break on off the floor at the moment. Fernandez was there. He tried the slap shot from behind. Red and white in the way, unfortunately, for the attack at the cage for Australia. Switzerland have it in the corner. Marusak, initial defence. Switzerland not sure what to do. Marusak covering well. Switzerland jamming up behind the cage. Hurley. Referees have played it in Australia's advantage. Australia getting a little bit of a break there. Two Swiss players right up. Shah's on it now. Hurley skating down. There's the pass down the barrier. Hurley jammed down into the corner. Still has the ball between the legs. Oh, he tries. He tries again. Hurley working absolutely a mammoth effort to try and get into the cage. Leighton, there's the strike for Switzerland. It's patted away by Leighton. Great work. Marusak's on it now. There's the pass to Fernandez. Our man covering our back in the gunfight. Shah, the rover. What's he going to do? He's got to get in there. He's got to play his magic at the smaller player. Light, nimble. Marusak on his knees, getting to his feet once more, having a bit of a smile with the Swiss player. Shah, initial defence. Switzerland. Oh, yes. Great shot there from Switzerland off the post of the cage. High ball call by the referees. Hurley. Leighton, Hurley. There was the shot against the barrier, rebounding off, unfortunately, Switzerland's advantage. Fernandez on the chase, Hurley in front. Switzerland going back to the defensive centre line. Marusak in front. Fernandez off the shin pads of Fernandez. There's Shah working with him. Lots of pressure there at the moment. Shah's not giving up. The Swiss have won it on the turnaround. Hurley in front. Last line of defence to help Leighton out. Switzerland across the floor, resetting themselves. Switzerland lucky to be in this situation. Australia is defending incredibly well. Fernandez doing the job. Great work there from Fernandez, taking possession of it, resetting himself, looking for the opportunities. Marusak's running through. There's the pass. Back to Shah. Having a look. Fernandez back on it again, back to Shah. Great play from the Australians. They're coming back into this game. Marusak. And that is the end of the first period of this game. Australia versus Switzerland. Barcelona Roller Games 2019.
I'm Shishu. I was playing in Australia 4 years ago. It was a great experience. I played with Melbourne roller hockey and we're supporting them for the World Roller Games, and I wish all the luck for the team and the national team. And I'm from Vic. I was playing all my life in Club Pacific and then I moved it to Taradell. And nowadays I will play the next season in Ripoll and nothing. I wish all the luck for the national team.
Hi, my name is Ferran. I'm from Vic, Catalonia, Spain. I played for roller hockey Melbourne 4 years ago, and I'm here to support them, to support national team for this World Roller Games competition, and to say to them that they can beat anyone. So go for them, guys.
Hello everybody, I'm Shishu. I was playing in Australia 4 years ago. It was a great experience. I played with Melbourne roller hockey and we're supporting them for the World Roller Games, and I wish all the luck for the team and the national team. And I'm from Vic. I was playing all my life in Club Pacific and then I moved it to Taradell. And nowadays I will play the next season in Ripoll and nothing. I wish all the luck for the national team.
Hi, my name is support national.
You're watching RHA TV, bringing these images to your lounge room back in Australia and across the world. I'm sure the Australian people back home are cheering the Australian. To thank our sponsors that made this all. Drew Media Australia doing the frontline work here in association with Roller Hockey Australia, Joss Sport, Ecamm Live, video production software for Mac. We'd very much like to thank those people for supporting Drew Media and bringing these images to you. K-Tech have been supplying us with the tough, durable, solid travel bags for our audio equipment so we can travel here to Barcelona for the 2019 World Roller Games. We're about to start play once more at Rambla de Sella Stadium, San Cugat, Switzerland to start play on the ball at the moment, on the centre line. Hurley, Boehm, Poblet, Marusak on the floor for Australia. Switzerland passing back to the centre line. Switzerland, a little bit of a fumble on the pass there. Pass deep down to the corner. Boehm providing the defence. Hurley moving into position. Poblet. Hurley carefully watching his man. There's the big bomber. Jay Cook in the cage for Australia. Great to see Jay in the cage. Bit of a tussle there in front at the moment. The referee's whistle has been blown. It looks like the Swiss keeper is having a little bit of difficulty there in the cage. Bevan Hurley shaking hands with the Swiss player. It's all innocent. The referee just looking to the officials' table at the moment. We'll wait for a decision to come out of this. Looks as though Switzerland will start play once more, once the floor has been cleaned. The floor mopper coming out to dry the surface here. Can be very, very tricky when one drop of moisture on this floor can allow the players to slide uncontrollably, losing their grip, the traction of the wheels to the timber floor. Beautiful surfaces here, the Rambla de Sella Stadium, San Cugat. Switzerland, long pass to the centre line. There's the pass back to the man skating through. Poblet, first line. This man skating from Poblet. Marusak in defence for Australia. There's a loose shot at the cage for Switzerland. It's very wide, lots of interference. There's green and gold all over the place. Referee's whistle has been blown. It's going to Switzerland's advantage. Push back to the centre line. Marusak skating through. Switzerland resetting themselves very much on the centre line here. They'd have to be watching the shot clock. There it is at 5 seconds remaining for Switzerland at the moment. Cook doing a great job in the cage there. Great work there. Face-off call by the referees. They're patting the helmet there from Hurley to Cook, encouraging him all the way. Junior player being dragged kicking and screaming into the senior ranks for this World Roller Games. Bevan Hurley there providing some extra support to Jay Cook. Young player from Australia. But as we've said in our podcast, he's the man with the DNA to do the job. Proud family history in the cage. And we have the older brother who we've seen earlier in this game on the floor, Max Cook, Mr. 110% as we call him. All Australian players providing good, solid strength in this fray against Switzerland. Play started once more. Switzerland winning on the face-off. Dummies the slap shot. Boehm in that first line defence to defend out. Poblet there just beyond the player attempted to receive the ball, but it's Boehm on the charge now. Poblet to help out. Oh, there it is. Oh, Boehm. Unfortunately, there's the man run through. Oh, Cook doing a great job there. Unfortunately, it was the second shot on the cage. Cook had no opportunity to try and reset himself, unfortunately. But doing so, a great job there in the cage for Australia. Did everything right. He kept it out on the initial strike. But when you're in that zone, you can't have the opportunity at times to reset yourself. Poblet on the charge. Hurley tries to slap shot into the shin pads of Switzerland. Hurley still on it. There's the opportunity. Drop it in. Go, let's go, Bevan. What can you do? Oh, it's kept out by the keeper. Referee's whistle blown. Chopping has been indicated by the referee. Ball to be brought back. Start play once more. Switzerland coolly, casually bringing it down the floor. Marusak, Hurley in defence again on the side there for Australia. Switzerland going back deep. There's the shot at the cage. Marusak's on it between the legs. Boehm on the intercept. Lots of interference there from Switzerland. Australia coming out on top. Hurley tries to pass through, unfortunately not firm enough. Switzerland haven't charged through. Poblet in front. Forced behind the cage. Great work from Australia. Australia really pushing the Swiss out at the moment, doing a great defensive job here at the moment. Switzerland just very, very lucky to get these scoring opportunities. Oh, there was the pass between the legs, kept out by Cook. Poblet up against the wall behind the cage, coming out. So there's Hurley coming through. There's the pass to him. What's Hurley going to do? He's getting pushed into the corner. He's looking for that man coming through in front. What's he going to do? There's lots of red and white in there at the moment. Into the corner. Poblet's going to receive it. Poblet working hard. Backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. Good technical player. Hurley, there he is behind the cage. We've got to look for that man scudding through in front of the cage for Australia. No one coming through. Marusak. Oh, Boehm, I correct myself. Hurley. Referee's whistle has been seen. We've seen something else going on here. I was watching the ball on the centre line. Referees have seen something here. The ball is being set in the penalty shot. It is Australia's turn to have a go at the cage. Can Geordie Poblet convert? Australia need this goal. 6-0 in this game so far, just having started the second half. Lots of hockey to be played. 21 minutes left on the clock. If anyone can do it, Poblet can. A good dribble of the ball. Accurate shot. Fast, nimble. If anyone can do it, it's going to go. Oh! Disappointing. You get the expression on Poblet's face. Pain. Upset. That was the shot. It was past the keeper and hit the post. Switzerland on the charge once more. Poblet first line. The Swiss not sure what to do at the moment. They're working the ball backwards and forwards. Hurley. Marusak in front. Bit of a stumble there for the Swiss player between his legs. Poblet, oh, he's on the ball. Oh, yes. Creating the situation. They're trying to dig it out and dig it out deep. We're waiting for the referee's decision here. What's going on? I'm not sure of the play exactly as it's been called by the referees. They've seen something. Jay Cook, the keeper of Australia, having a bit of a chat. The ball has been set in position. A penalty shot will be played out for Switzerland. Jay Cook wiping and toweling himself down at the moment. Support for Run. Reece Leeton in support there as well. Jay Cook is the man of the moment. The ninja of the cage. The man with the DNA to do the job. Gears back up again, ready to walk out, skate out to that cage. Swiss player on the dot at the moment. Getting in some dribbling practice, as we could see. Cook now on the cage. Strong, confident. He's got the moves. Here's the ninja. Oh, Cook having to make a decision to go one way or the other. He's chosen it, unfortunately, the wrong side. Nothing to be taken away from this Australian keeper. He's doing the job. At the moment, Ash Clee, sponsored by Australian Teachers Chronicle, to be here at the roller games. atc.com.au. Poblet on the charge. Clee in front of the goals at the moment. Poblet back to Hurley. Poblet looking for a way in, trying to skate it in. There's the pass. Oh, it's off the post again from Marusak. Disappointing for the Australian camp. They've had a number of opportunities now. Just a little bit wide of the cage what's required, but Hurley's on the charge. There's Clee skating through, the fast man for Australia. Oh, was it in the penalty box? Hurley pushed from the Swiss player. Very, very close here. Very, very close in the penalty area. Will Australia get that penalty shot? Or will they just start play from just outside the penalty area? Indication there of hooking from the referee. We're having a look at it on the replay. There's the dummy slap shot. He skates one way, gets between the two players. Or there's a bit of a tussle there, and the referees have looked at it as possibly hooking. If so, they would generally receive the blue card, hooking a player at any stage of the game. But no, the referees have just seen it as rough play. Australia to start once more outside of the penalty area. Clee in the cage, getting physical. He's pushing hard, he's not giving in. The youngster at 17 years old, getting physical. He has the size, he has the skill. Hurley from Marusak. Intercepted there by Switzerland. Long pass down the wall into no man's land. Round the corner of the barriers. There was the pass in front. Poblitz picked it up. He's charging down. Marusak 1-2. And there is opportunity. Yes! Australia scores! Poblitz delivers the goods for the green and gold. Great work there for the Australian camp. We're absolutely loving this action now. As we've said, so much hockey to be played. We're watching it again on the replay. Poblitz struggling the way through. Pops it into the last second, just wide of the Swiss keeper. The Australian camp are going to be loving this. This is putting them back in the game. This is going to give them the confidence. Players started once more. The Australian camp in the stadium is going wild. They're cheering Australia on. Switzerland now on the charge. Oh, Poblitz being pushed over behind play. He's back on the feet. The referees have called it clean. Hurley, long hard pass intercepted by Clee. He's on the charge. He's maintaining possession of the ball. Hurley skating through. Be forced behind the cage. Oh, there's the swing and that little bit of a, not a slap shot, but a flick at the cage. Kept there by the Switzerland keeper. Great work for the Australian camp. They've become revitalised after that last goal. Working hard. Clee first line. Marusak now in the defence. Hurley looking the player. There's a bit of rough play, a bit of push there, and it's going to go Switzerland's way on the whistle. Australia's way, I stand corrected. Whistle. Clee looking to tap back to Poblitz. Clee up against the barrier. Clee running through, skating through into the centre, ready to set the play. Pulling his player out of the action area. Tactics is what it's all about. Clee on the charge, it's wide for him to pick up. Jammed in the corner. Marusak chasing hard. Switzerland is going to beat him in the corner. Back on the centre line for to the cage. Poblitz in front. Joined by Clee in the fray as well, providing that defence. The referee's whistle had been blown there. Tough decision for the Australian camp. Poblitz was just there. Oh, disappointing. Disappointing, and the Australian cheer squad are not happy. They're telling the referees the card has been displayed. Poblitz innocently standing there, the player running through from Switzerland. We've got to see a replay of that. We've got to try and see the action if we can. The Australian camp going wild at the moment on the referee's decision. Blue card issued to Poblitz. Australians finding it tough on the referee's whistle at the moment. Switzerland, hook in the cage. He can do it. He can block him out again. We know he can. He's the man. Oh, yes, he does his job. Great work there from Cook. Fantastic effort that we're seeing there from Jay Cook in the cage for Australia. But unfortunately, it's a replay again. One of the players has broken the line. That will be replayed. And we're watching the replay now on your screens here. Back to the live action. Referees, hand up, down penalty end. There's the wave. Cook at it again. Great work. Cook's done it. Oh, no. Disappointment. Disappointment. Cook doing everything right, trying to desperately get back into the cage area to block that one out. Australia being revitalised after that goal. Tough decisions here from the referees against the Australian camp. Varane there, one of the supporters, and help with the Australian camp, giving him some encouragement there. You can do it. Never say die is what they'll be telling him. Jay, you've got the stuff. Have the confidence. You're there. You're here at the roller games, Barcelona 2019, and you're watching it all on Roller Hockey Australia TV with the help of Drew Media Australia, Josh Sport, and our supporting partners, Ecamm Live, video production software for Mac, K-Tech, tough, durable, solid travel bags for all your audio to travel. On the charge at the moment, Sabina Spear on the floor, a little bit of mush, quite possibly he's upset. But we're back onto the game. Switzerland is jammed behind the cage. Hurley, Marusak. Slap shot to the shin pads. Switzerland charging in. 18 minutes remaining on the clock in the second half of this game. Has going to Switzerland's advantage. Marusak, Klee, first line of defence. Hurley to the side, Shah in the distance. Safe pass back to the centre. Turnaround quick enough. Excellent habit. Backwards and forwards, working the centre to the flank. Australian shot clock, Switzerland. Australia to start play once more. Klee, Shah. Pressure put in early by Switzerland. Passes get to Switzerland just out of the tussle on the barrier. Switzerland's ball at the moment. Klee still on the charge. In support with Shah. Marusak in front with Hurley now. Klee the third one in defence in behind. Shah, Marusak in front now. Switzerland working the ball all over the floor at the moment. The Australian camp lining up in front, not creating the opportunity for Switzerland. Switzerland are running the shot clock down. 14, 13, 12 seconds left on the shot clock now. Turn this over very, very short. Ball now out the little tap to Marusak on it. Shot clock reset again. Klee, great work from the young fella. He's coming through now. He needs to build his speed. Needs someone to work with. Drops the bomber in, deflected off the shin pad of Switzerland. That's what he's known for, dropping it in from the halfway line. Klee still fighting hard. He's out on top, trying to kiss my ass. Gets green gold. He's nearly a big player. Can't pull it off. Shah still on the attack. There's the long pass for Switzerland. The 1-2. Shah skating hard back in. Once more. As you can see on the replay there, Switzerland when these things are covered up. We'll be back with you very shortly after the timeout. 2019. You can hear it in the background, the Australian team supporters in the grandstand, giving it to the Swiss, trying to by pure enthusiasm. Minutes remaining on the clock after period. Shah to take the tap. Marusak next to him. Cook on the floor now for Australia. Hurley, there's the tap in front of the cage. It's wide. Cook's on the charge at the moment. There's the pass through. Couldn't get it to Hurley. Hurley's on it now. What's he going to do? There's the turn and flick off the skates of Marusak. Cook sliding there in desperation, trying to get to the ball. Lost his stick. Cook back on the charge once more. He's running hard back into defence, but it's Shah Marusak in front right now. Jammed in the corner of Switzerland. Shah putting the pressure on. Hurley in defence. Switzerland taking their time, working the ball at the moment. Hurley winning out on that pass to Switzerland. Down the wall to Shah. Shah isn't able to intercept, drifting into no man's land in the corner. The Swiss are a little bit quicker on the feet, got the right angle. Switzerland having to move forward, it gets it over the line. And resetting themselves, Switzerland having a good look. Oh, there was the man coming in close to the cage. But it was Marusak that's kept it out. He's got possession of it. He's charging down the floor. There's Cook. He's looking. Marusak needs to get it out. Needs to unload, get it to somebody. Marusak got to be looking for the greener goal. He has a go at the cage. It's wide. It's low. Ball flicked off the barrier into the Swiss's possession at the moment. There's no one there for Australia. Bevan Hurley too wide to provide any defence. Cook, the last man there in front of the cage. Fernandez coming on the floor now. Hurley to Fernandez. What's Fernandez going to do? He needs someone to work with. Passes it deep down into the corner. Switzerland on the charge, skating in. Shah just in front. Now it's Cook in defence. Hurley coming into the help out. Fernandez, Cook, Hurley, Shah on the floor for Australia at the moment. 14 minutes remaining on the clock. Still a lot of hockey to be played. Cook doing a great job in the cage, easily deflecting away. Hurley's on the charge now, winning up against the barrier. Drops the big bomber in, it's wide. It's anybody's ball at the moment. Cook's on it. Chasing hard. Rebounds off the barrier to himself. Hurley across the other side of the floor between the legs. Flicks it through to Fernandez. He's still on it. It's still Fernandez. It's clean. Shah having a charge through. Trying to get around the Swiss player into the skates. Cook's on it. Drops the big bomber in from the side. Kept there by the Swiss keeper. Switzerland having a bit of a look there. Australia lining themselves properly in defence this time. Shah is on the charge. Switzerland giving a little bit more opportunity to Australia. What's been seen here, the referee's whistle has been blown. The ball to go to Switzerland's advantage. We're back in play once more. There's the pass across the floor. Having a charge in the cage, lots of pressure from the green and gold. Back on the centre line for Switzerland. Having a run in, Poblet defending well. Shah's got it. Yes, there's only one man in front. What's he going to do? There it is. There's an opportunity. Oh, Poblet too wide to intercept. Picked up by Switzerland. Cook. Fernandez in the defence with Poblet. Shah coming off. Clee back on. Swiss player tripping over backwards there. Back on his feet once more. Back into the play. Poblet running in there to upset the Swiss players, get them off balance. Switzerland working more ball, spending more time on the centre line in this second half. Fernandez picking it up in the corner. There's the rebound off the ball to Clee, not able to intercept. Clee battling hard, picks it out from between the legs, Switzerland do. Switzerland having another charge down the floor. There's the shot at the cage, deflected off Fernandez. Clee's on the charge. He's got it. He's got the speed. He's got the ability. Rip it off. The flick shot at the cage, kept there by Switzerland. Keeper doing a good job here for Switzerland. Australia having a few opportunities now in the second half. Poblet putting the pressure on. Passes down the wall. across the other side of the floor for Switzerland. Again, down the barrier. Fernandez putting the pressure on. Klee, last line of defence, does the job well. Keeps it out. Cook, the man in front. Now Fernandez leading on the defence. Klee in support. Each of these Australian players marking, well defended by Australia. Ash Klee just staying there solid, taking the punishment in the legs. And there is the next timeout period for the second half of this game. You're watching Roller Hockey Australia TV. On the referee's whistle, Australia is to start play once more. Klee has the ball in front of him, supported by Poblet. Cook, Fernandez in support. Back in the cage, Australia. There's the Poblet. Klee providing a bit of shielding there. Switzerland has the tap. Klee's working on his back. Fortunately, he wins out on that one, but there's no one to receive. Switzerland, Cook putting the pressure on. Switzerland, the man comes out. Ball gun the circuit and centre line. There's the 1-2 from Switzerland. Fernandez really creating the interference there. Cook trying to run in, take advantage of the situation. Fernandez hasn't got a long enough stretch. Switzerland taking their time. 13 seconds remaining on the shot clock. This game's starting to get a little bit physical between Cook and Klee at times. Fernandez not shying away from the pressure either. Cook is on the charge. He's picked it up deep. Klee's on it at the moment. He still has possession at the moment. There's lots of pressure on him. He doesn't succumb. He's on it. He tries to dribble around the Swiss player. Doesn't pull it off, unfortunately. There's the long pass across the floors for Switzerland. Fernandez doing the job just between the legs, deflected off the pads of Leighton. On the cage. There's the long pass to Fernandez, who receives. Fernandez looking for someone to work with. Poblet's come to the rescue. Poblet there. Nice turnaround. And the referee's whistle has indicated that we'll go Australia's way to start play. Poblet, Klee. Klee's still on it. There was the pass back to Poblet. It was too wide, unfortunately. It's gone to the Swiss. Down the floor into no man's land. Fernandez is on it. A slash with a stick. Doesn't pay off, but Poblet's there in the interference in defence. Referees have seen kicking there. Switzerland's ball. Both teams will be fatigued at this stage of the game with 9 minutes remaining on the clock in the second half of this game, Australia versus Switzerland. And just take a moment, you are watching Roller Hockey Australia TV, or RHG. We brought to you Australia Association with Rock Sport, Ecamm Live and KTech, also our friendly sponsors for this event to bring these images live to you. But it's Switzerland on the ball now, between the legs of Fernandez. Switzerland having a turnaround and flick of the cage, it's wide and high. Poblet on the chase, lots of pressure on there. Cook in the corner. Fernandez is setting up there, ready to. Cook's going to head down the floor. He's quick, he's fast. And it has been timed out in 10 seconds over the line. The ball to be turned over to Switzerland. Unfortunate for Cook, he was just on the start of his run. Switzerland to start play. We're back on the ball once more. Long pass across the centre. Switzerland working their ball on that centre line quite a lot in the second half. Looking for the opportunities in the Australian defence, but there aren't too many of them. Switzerland just very to get the breakthroughs. So Klee in there, first line of defence, putting the pressure on. Switzerland passing back to the centre line. Working back in, out. Cook on it, trying to upset the flow for Switzerland. There's the slap shot at the cage, high and wide. Australia on the charge. Poblet has it now from the pass back from Klee. Is in there. Klee providing some shielding there at the moment. Poblet stuck beyond the cage. There's Klee in front. Tries to lift and tap. Lots of interference there from the red and white. But it's Switzerland now on the charge. Fernandez, last line. It's wide of the cage and high. Poblet. Klee, he's on it. Nice gentle pass there to Cook. Cook's all over it at the moment. Oh, there's a bit of argy-bargy up against the barrier there. Which way are the referees going to look? His ball. Klee just passing it back to Cook, ready to start play once more. Klee-Cook combination to start. Decision has gone the other way. Switzerland. He tried starting. Is coming through. Poblet, a bit of a shield. Good work there from Poblet. Poblet back into the fray once more. Up against the barrier. Lots of pressure on him. He tried to pass it out. It's into the hands of the Swiss player. But Fernandez is on it. He's playing air hockey at the moment. Switzerland. Cook. Switzerland charging down. Poblet. Deflected off the stick of Poblet. It's in the cage there at the moment, but it's Australia's on it. Fernandez. There's the deflection off the stick. It's going down the barrier at the moment. It's in the cage. Switzerland's ball. Off to the opposite corner for Switzerland. The 1-2 pass to make it over the line. Klee providing a little bit of interference there. Fernandez in front, supported by Cook. There was the pass through, went straight to Klee. Couldn't get a stick on it, unfortunately. Kept out by Leiden. You can hear a little bit of a ting off the cage. Klee's in the corner. He's got it out. Who's going to win out? Poblet. Giving him a bit of time. Giving him space. There is the flick shot at the cage. Klee in defence. There's another charge of the cage. Poblet, Klee closing up the gap. Between the legs to receive off the barrier for Switzerland. Switzerland had just having a slash at it to try and deflect in. Australia's ball. They'll be wanting to pick this up quick. Get the advantage. Get moving. Klee off the floor. Bowen coming on. We have heard the horn here, but the referees and the officials have said play on. Boehm jammed up against the barrier at the moment, trying to come out on top. Can't quite keep control of it. There's only a one-on-one in the cage. It's Leiden letting that one slide through to his side. Disappointing there for Australia. Disappointing. Geordie Poblet there in front of screen. You're seeing it now on the replay. Just business as usual for Switzerland, getting in past the side of Leiden. Cameron Boehm talking to the referees, shaking his head there at the moment. There's a little bit of upset there in the Australian camp of what's been happening here. Australia not happy. Cook back to Poblet to start play once more. Oh, dribbles around the players. He's working hard. There's just too much pressure here from the red and white. Boehm, Marusek in defence. Switzerland doming the slap shot. There was the pass through to man, deflected off the skates of Poblet. It's clean. Switzerland passing to the back of the cage, jammed in. Poblet moving into position. Poblet, great work there. Lots of interference, gets position. Passes to Cook. Cook's having a charge. There's Marusek there to support him. Pass to Marusek is intercepted by Switzerland, unfortunately. Switzerland back on the charge down there. Boehm in front. Poblet in support. Poblet now has the ball. Marusek, what's he going to do with it? Australia need this at the moment. They need to have possession time on the ball. Marusek still winning out there, playing the patience game. But it has been turned over to Switzerland. Switzerland giving the indication to their teammates to settle it down a little bit. Switzerland working the ball in. They're starting to move in. Boehm in front then. These players will be coming very, very tired in both teams. Hot, humid conditions here in Rambler de Sella Stadium. The pressure is on. Both teams are wilting in the heat. Deflection off the barrier. Boehm is on the charge and needs someone to work with. What can he do? He's the man that can do it. Oh! He's having to go into the cage. Cameron Boehm is down the floor. He's holding his hip. It looked as though the keeper is coming out to join him in the fray. Boehm in pain at the moment. Australian captain is down on the floor. And let's have a look at that again on the replay from the start of the play that we've just seen. Cameron Bohm skating in for the opportunity. Here it is, the keeper coming out. And it is just purposely, keeper's just purposely throwing himself in front of Bohm. Bohm, of course, having nowhere to go whatsoever, has just had no option but just to basically dive over the keeper. Has gone to the floor, hurting his hip. Cameron Bohm not happy, very upset about what's going on here. But here we have the timeout period. You're on RHA TV, brought to you by Drew Media in association with Roller Hockey Australia and Joss Sport. K-Tech and live and bring our audio gear to Barshausen on 9. Poblet working hard there, sliding on the slippery surface here. Great work from Leighton there. There's the 1-2. And face-off. Great work there from Leighton to reset himself after the first attack. Face-off to take it for Australia. Up against the post. Hurley 1-2 against Switzerland. Marusek coming out on top. He's got the run. He hasn't been able to keep control of it, unfortunately. The referees have blown, they're calling it back. What are we seeing here? We will wait for the outcome of this one. Australia to take the ball to start play once more. 5 minutes, 34 seconds remaining in the second period of this game. The Australian camp in the background, you can hear him. Bevan Hurley, the big bomber, takes a shot from the centre circle. It's wide of the cage. Switzerland out on the tussle in the corner. They try the big bomber from the back line just to get it over to comply with the 10. But Hurley's on it in the argy-bargy behind the cage. What's he going to do? He's looking for somebody to work with. He's going around the play, around the Swiss player. Great work there. Oh, he drops in the backhand slap shot. Just wide and high of the cage. Ball going over the barrier and will be brought back into play in just moments. The Australian camp going wild in the Grand Stadium here. Rambler de Sella. The San Cugat. Marusek upset with himself for not receiving cleanly behind the cage. There's the 10 seconds over the line for Australia. Switzerland back into the attack. Referees are saying, no, sorry, come on, let's bring it back, boys. Got to play fair. Switzerland on the corner of the penalty box. Poblet there, supported by Hurley against the cage. Cook there to provide the little bit of extra interference there. Marusek's on it. Hurley in front of the cage. Cook's on it. He's charging down. He's got Poblet to work with. Can he get a clean shot in to pass it to him? Oh! There was the deflection of the stick. Great work from the Swiss keeper to keep it out. That was a scoring shot, a scoring deflection. Hurley putting the pressure on. Switzerland crumbling a little there at the cage. Switzerland have the ball now. Poblet putting the pressure on. Cook now in front as the first line defence. Poblet now in front. Hurley bursting through to try and take advantage. Marusek has them now. Hurley having a look. There's three of them in front. They rip off the big bomber. It's not there. It's deflected out by the keeper from Switzerland. There's 1-2 from Switzerland. Reece Leighton doing the job, keeping it out, kicking it off the pads. Referee's whistle blown. It will go Switzerland's way. Switzerland on the corner of the penalty box. Poblet, Hurley on the cage. Marusek there in the middle. Klee back on the floor. Switzerland having a charge there. And Klee, great work there from Klee. Stealing candy from a baby. He's working down the floor. He needs someone to work with. What's he going to do? Can he drop it in? He's too deep. He's too wide. He's looking for some help. Where can he get it? Poblet's coming to the rescue. Klee providing a little bit of shielding there. Poblet's now jammed in the corner. Reverse situation. Couldn't get the pass off to Klee in the right direction. But it's Switzerland's ball. Hurley in the last line. Oh, Leighton doing the job at the moment. The ball's out of the cage area now. Switzerland, Poblet winning out on top. Klee in support. He's on his own, Poblet. He needs someone to work with. Skating behind the door. All he can do is to lift and tap between the legs. Great work there. Nice little bit of work there from Geordie Poblet. But unfortunately, he's looking for something from the referees and lost his mojo. But Switzerland's back on it now. Poblet, Marusak in front. There was a slap shot at Leighton. Keeps it out nicely. Referee, you've seen something. Whistle blown. Reece Leighton there just moving off to the side, out of the cage area at the moment. Players momentarily stopped on the whistle. He seems to be grabbing his neck there at the moment. The ball quite possibly having snuck under the helmet. Very, very painful place to be hit with a hockey ball, particularly on a slap shot. Flick shots are bad enough, but when you get on the receiving end of a slap shot, you can sometimes wonder what day it is. Reece Leighton, tough man in the cage for Australia. But also nice to see Jay Cook in the cage for Australia. One of the juniors who's been promoted into the senior ranks for this Barcelona World Roller Games. And thank you so much. Muchas gracias for joining us on RHA TV. Brought to you by Drew Media Australia in association with Roller Hockey Australia and Joss Sport. And we'd also like to take the time to thank Ecamm Live so much for helping supporting Drew Media. Video production software for Mac. Without Ecamm, this would be so much more difficult. K-Tech, we'd like to mention you guys as so much in your tough dual travel bags for equipment we've used to bring our gear to Barcelona for these games, 2019. Play begins once more. Switzerland are on the case. Marusak in front. Poblet now doing the work. Not giving away. There's a little bit of a, but it's all right. Doesn't matter. It's been passed back. Drops the bomber in. Deflected off the stick of Poblet. Great work there. Hurley having to work. Deflected off the shin pads. For us. Hard, fast pass to Hurley. Still in the back line. Got to get over the lines. Switzerland tapping away there. Hurley going to the floor. It's clean by the referees. Switzerland dummying the slap shot. Has the flick shot at Leighton. Keeps it out easily. Hurley nearly intercepting on the pass there. It's clear. The skating pass there is too wide, too fast to get to it. Trying to get the ball under his control in the final work. Again, Leighton deflecting away from the cage with his foot. Hurley behind the cage once more. 2 minutes remaining on the clock in this battle. Switzerland, Australia, World Roller Games, Barcelona 2019. Poblet. What's he going to do? He's on the ball now. He's got the charge. He's got the speed. He's got the momentum. He's coming down. He's got Clee to work with. They have been a pair. They've worked together. They know the drills. But it's Switzerland as the ball right now out of the argy-bargy on that one. The Australian charge of the cage. Trying on the 1-2. Reece Leighton's having none of it. It's in the corner at the moment. Referees are calling a clean play. Let's move with it. Clee is their last line of defence, or first line of defence there. Poblet on the stick. Not allowing her through to the cage. Marusak, Clee on the charge. Switzerland in the corner, trying to come out. Clee in front, between the legs. Pass back for Switzerland in the danger zone now. Leighton having to do a little bit of work there, but it was safe. There's the 1-2, the man for Switzerland in front of the cage. Bit of a pushing back from Clee to the Swiss player. Let's get him down the other end. Let's get him to time out. Switzerland, 30 seconds on the shot clock for them. In the corner. Clee on the post. Marusak swapping positions now. Poblet there in the charge on the opposite post now. Off the shin pads, Marusak, still Switzerland's ball. Hurley into the charge. Poblet there as well. Reece Leighton, yes, I'm starting to lose my voice, starting to lose my coordination on the vocals, but it doesn't matter, it's all about hockey. RHA TV is doing it all for you in your lounge room. Hurley putting the pressure on, trying to steal it away from there. Marusak doing the same thing. Everybody getting tired. Deflection there off Clee, drifting into the reach of Leighton, who keeps it out. Referees have seen something on the whistle there. Australia having a bit of a tough time on the referee's whistle in this game, Australia versus Switzerland, unfortunately. And we can hear the Australian camp in the background. They don't care. They love their country. They're proud of our guys that are on the floor here for Australia. And the referees have seen something in the penalty area, and that will now go to A free shot for Switzerland. 14 seconds remaining on the clock for this game. 11-1 is the situation on the scoreboard. Reece Leighton getting full of the angry pills now. He's going to keep this out. He knows he's going to keep it out. He has to keep it out. Big cheer from the Australian camp in the grandstand. They're loving their hockey here in Barcelona. Leighton setting himself, looking at the referee to give the indication. There it is. There's the wave. Just going under the shin pads of Leighton there. Disappointed with himself. It is one of the known scoring areas against the keeper from any country, of any discipline. That is one of the key areas that the keepers struggle to keep covered, in that they're expecting the ball to go higher. But when on the low one, they can't quite manage it at times. But it doesn't matter. Poblet's on the charge. Hurley in support. There it is, off the stick of Hurley. Couldn't pick it up clean. Poblet chasing desperate. Marusak, the last man in there. The 1-2 from Switzerland. And the couple, and that is the full-time result. You're watching all the action live. RHA TV, brought to you by Drew Media Australia, in association with Roller Hockey Australia, Josh Sports, Ecamm Live, and KTech. Thank you very much for your support, and we will see you in the later broadcast.